game on Saturday showed me that guys have some stock that is ascending and guys have some stock that is descending. We talk about who those players are on both sides of the ball and on both teams next. Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. Today's episode brought to you by Roy. More on them in a second. He is Clint. I am Daniel. You are probably an everydayer. You're probably making us your first listen of the day, and we appreciate you greatly. I got a whole army of people following along the show. Subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the audio podcast, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Follow along there. Make sure that you're downloading that show and helping us out that way. Thank you so much to all of you who are doing that. And as Clint mentioned, playing a simple game today.
It's very simple.
You can get with your stock going up, or you can get with your stock going down. That's the game that we're playing. Everydayers will understand the reference. Before we get into the game, Clint.
Okay.
I just, it's Tuesday now. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Which means we've had many days have transpired since the Georgia-Texas game on Saturday.
Yep.
And so there's a chance that some people have forgotten. So if I may, could I just ask you?
You may.
Was Georgia there mostly for the pageantry and the photos? Or was Georgia there to eat on Saturday night in Austin?
Look, if y'all don't think that I'm going to get mileage out of that Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, I'm not here for the pageantry and the photos. Aunt Janice.
You sit on down.
I'm here to eat.
We're here to eat. Kirby Smart continues to be, and it's so wild to me. While we're on this subject,
stock up. This is our first stock up right here. Yeah.
First stock up. Kirby Smart and the program at UGA is still, and I didn't think this could be possible after back-to-back national championships. It's still ascending. Now, how do I know this? Man's getting calls from parents of young men on the team thanking him, saying, "You, sir, I've been here 10 months. Rydell's mom, 10 months.
Yeah.
Talking to her on Twitter saying, yeah, we understand the same thing. This man is crafting our boys into men." Kirby Smart doesn't care about your pageantry. Steve Sarkisian, talk about stock down here in a second. Steve Sarkisian begging for a target penalty. You ever see Kirby beg for a penalty in his life, Daniel? No, I haven't.
He does look a ref square in the eye and say, "I'm going to have your job. I'm going to remove you from your job.
You have a chance to stop what I'm about to do by going ahead and doing the right thing right now. Once we leave, you've set your fate." Okay?
You've chosen.
You've chosen. Kirby Smart is ascending up. This program is ascending up. Young men, parents want to send their kids there because he's crafting him. They're making them into players that are going to go on into excellence, and guys like Dan Jackson, who shouldn't be out there for all intents and purposes, and gets developed by Kirby Smart into one of the surest tech. These are the type of things we have going on. Kirby Smart and the memes and the quotables that surround him, limitless. This man is just a minefield of diamonds everywhere.
When they shoved that microphone into his mouth and he said, "Your network didn't think we had a shot." He said the words "your network" to that poor lady.
Didn't say ESPN refused to go down.
Your network didn't think we had a shot, and they tried to rob us in this building tonight of the win.
In front of God and everybody, the man is just calling out his shots.
He did not care. Stock up to Kirby Smart. Stock up to this program. Stock down to people who like to make speeding ticket references and are praying to the deity of their choice for the demise of Georgia football, because it ain't happening. It ain't gonna happen.
And while we're on all of your decline, Florida fan, Alabama fan, Tennessee fan, Ohio
Your program
State fan,
sucks.
yeah, y'all suck, so you're on the decline. But this just in, y'all wanted to talk about, oh, well, Kirby has people that beat women on the roster. Okay, first of all, we don't joke about that. If you beat what you deserve to be kicked off the team immediately.
And imprisoned.
And in prison. Alabama fan, Tennessee, you. But do y'all remember Adam Anderson? Turns out nothing happened from that. Guy gets off the squad. Kirby did the thing, said, while the investigation's happening, can't have you on the team, which, by the way, was the right decision, because you don't know. Turns out nothing happened. Adam Anderson, I don't know what's happening. It's like, same thing could be happening with a couple of guys on the team right now. But the right thing is always done. And all of you who joke about it just are looking so foolish. Odds are now out to be the next college football coach fired. You want to run down this list really quick?
Sure.
Away 5-2, because he can't coach. So,
not well.
No, Billy Napier 4-1.
Here we go.
Billy Napier's not getting fired this year.
Sun Belt Billy just keeps win, and it's the best thing for Georgia. Keep him forever. Give him a lifetime contract. We thought we liked Dan Mullen. No, we like this guy more.
Yep. Dave Aranda, walking dead man already.
Sure,
He's 4-1 as well. Mike Norvell, 10-1.
Oh, no.
Ryan Day, 10-1.
Oh, that escalated quickly.
Brent Venables, 16-1.
Should already be fired for letting Dylan Gabriel walk.
Oh, my gosh. Lincoln Riley, 20-1.
I'm sorry. Where do we get to Kalen DeBoer? Because Alabama fans ain't going to stand for it. Like, this program's in absolute shambles. Like,
guys,
you look like
unsportsmanlike conducts to end games.
It's not a stock down the Alabama Crimson Tide football team. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's get back to it. Stock up. I'm going to say stock up for the Georgia inside linebackers in the absence of Smile Mondon. Okay.
Oh, now we're full lather about to get up here.
Okay. So I'm talking about CJ Allen. Yeah. Yes, I'm talking about Raylan Wilson. And yes, I'm also talking about Chris Cole, the freshman who is finding his way onto the field more and more. Clint, Big 18's out there a lot. Almost had an incredible interception on Saturday, but plays for Georgia, so cannot catch the ball. So
it's contractually obligated to drop it.
Stock down to anyone in a Georgia uniform trying to catch the ball, but stock up to the inside linebackers. I thought they played absolutely fantastic, but on the whole, in a bigger picture sense, Clint, we love Smile Mondon on this show.
Yeah.
And we need depth. But CJ and Raylan, the two best linebackers on this team, and there's no disputing that. Clint.
CJ came across a man and nearly ended him with a tackle that was normally bone jarring is not like when you remove a man's skeleton from its normal position within his body, that's not okay. And CJ is making it a habit.
Yeah.
It's not
great. Stock up to those guys. All right, we got more stock ups, more stock downs from this Georgia football team, and maybe a few other from around college football coming up right after this.
But first, I want to let you know about Roy. Roy's fantastic return coming to all of us because it's our time to do the player of the week. So for this season, we've pulled over $10,000 support players on Roy. Micro deposits lead to massive change. With the app, you can direct your support to the athletes. Unlike collectives, you know exactly where money is going to go, where support is going, and you can receive exclusive content like personal videos, updates after the season. The best part, it's risk-free. If they don't come back to Georgia, they don't get the funds, the support going their way. This week, we are supporting none other than Anthony Evans. We just pitched in $100, and we'd love for you to join us. Even $10 makes a difference for Anthony Evans to keep him connected to the school. Remember, pay per play, celebrate tomorrow. Your support sets your team up for success. Already on Roy, any contribution to an athlete's campaign also gets you entered automatically into, in November, a tickets to a game giveaway. You get tickets to any game that Roy is going to give you for just entering any amount. Download Roy now and join the NIL game with no subscription, no feed. And be sure to check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Roy, ROY_return on you for more info. Support the players, change the game.
All right, Clint,
Stock
where
up,
are we
stock
going
down.
next? Stock up, stock down.
I want to talk stock up because we didn't talk about it enough. And I think his style of play might be a little different from what you and I anticipated to begin the year. And he showed himself a different dimension in this game that makes his stock increase, because ETN showed me that he's going to get real tough yards, real tough sledding, keep his balance and his ability. Those touchdowns that he was parallel to the playing surface, stretching over, and yes, the touchdown that was erroneously called not a touchdown, that was absolutely a touchdown.
And
Was
the third down conversion, nearly an identical play. Same play.
same play.
Brock Bowers-esque, Clint.
Thank you. His body control is elite. We want to talk about elite. Talk about stock up. ETN is creeping on elite status of body control for running backs. And you can talk about stats. You can talk about, I know, I've seen Ollie. I've seen those plays. I've seen him jumping over guys. I've seen it. For my money, watching a guy that has body control, again, Brock Bowers isn't going to shock anybody, Daniel, with his, it wasn't athletic enough.
Well, he's not athletic. That's why he can't be drafted high. That's why the Titans passed on him. That's why these teams didn't want it, because he just, he's not a great athlete. That's what
Body
the guy
control.
in his mom's basement who runs an NFL draft blog said about Brock Bowers.
They did. ETN is going to be like that. He is ho-hum boring, except he has body control. He has one burst speed. He has incredible ability to make 6.4 yards per carry and keep that going and get into the end zone when he's got 3 or 4 guys surrounding him. Stock up ETN, Daniel. Where are we going next?
Yeah, I'm going to go stock up to the Mike Bobo haters. I mean, it's your Super Bowl this week. I genuinely believe that the Georgia football fan base, I've said this many times, would rather be right about how bad the offensive coordinator is,
yes,
than have a good offensive coordinator. Like and you have proven that if you are one of these perpetual Mike Bobo haters. But again, it's you're Alabama and it's September 28th. So it's your Super Bowl. Congratulations. Stock up to you. Mike Bobo, I thought, called a terrible game. The empty personnel, we referenced it on yesterday's show. We were screaming at the television. Like, even if you don't run the ball,
sure,
fake a freaking handoff one time and just see what happens, because you're gashing them on every run play. So just see what happens if you fake a handoff. I'll tell you what happens. The linebacker gets out of position and you hit a guy quick on the outside and he gains 10 easy yards.
But Daniel, that doesn't assume that Carson Beck on play action throws were throwing his best balls all year, and best statistical analysis is when he's on play action. That can't be the case, can it?
Sure it can, Clint. But let's go empty 5 wide anyway, because stock up to the Mike Bobo haters. You had a heck of a game by you. You were right all along. We do suck. Don't we all feel better now? Like, Yay. Isn't it better? Yay. Isn't that great? Like, this is what you wanted, right? Now we're happy? Like, now you're happy? Awesome. Can't stock up to you. Kudos.
Stock down Daniel and I's ability to make fun of Chaz Chambliss any longer on this podcast. And I've gotten
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
what you're talking about.
mileage.
I've never said a negative word about the man. The young man has been nothing but a prime example of tenacity, work ethic, physicality.
Shut your hole when you're talking to me.
It's Chaz Chambliss is he's elevated his play. The level of his play has elevated significantly, and we're all the beneficiaries of it, Clint.
I'm happy. Not only is he setting the edge, he is hand fighting. This was the thing with Chaz. He loves that shoulder dip and just putting it right into a chest protector of an offensive lineman. He used to love that. I'll use past tense.
He might
That
still
was
like it. It's just he doesn't do it exclusively anymore.
He's now using his hands, getting a rip and getting a swim, getting an over, getting past guys and seems like at the end of the game when I see him out there, I'm like, what's going on? That's not our package. It goes, oh, actually, that's okay. It seems like at the end of the game, he's closing deals on the edge, which is insane to me. Stock down on your and I's ability to make fun of him because I fear those days are done, Daniel.
Yeah. We mentioned it on Saturday night, I guess it was, but stock up Dalen Everett. Like, best game in a Georgia uniform.
Yes.
On Saturday. It wasn't just the interception in which he made an unbelievable play, and Kirby gave him hell in the post-game presser because Kirby was on Saturday night. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the terminology, but he was on Saturday night. So
he didn't give two
shots were being fired, but could have been a pick six. But the man came down with an interception. The man forced and then subsequently recovered a fumble. Instead of doing the thing where you sack the quarterback, cause a fumble, and then get up and dance while the ball's still loose on the ground, he walked into the stadium with the cigar in his mouth, like got off the team bus.
He did.
Is he a student athlete? No, he's a member of the coaching staff.
Oh no. Oh,
okay. That's the house that's in disorder right now. If you're Alabama football, instead of dancing, he goes and recovers that very same fumble. I'll be honest to God with you, Clint. When we caused that fumble and that ball squirting around there on the ground, okay, it's still, what was the score at the time? At that time,
it was close. It was
very early in the game. Yeah. Very early in the game. The offense had not been looking good.
No.
There was no chance I thought we were going to recover that fumble. Like, it was like one of those things where like the ball's out and Michael Williams is literally playing volleyball with it, like laying on the ground, just like
like crab soccer in junior high.
Yeah, correct. Like trying his best to keep it away from anyone on our team. There was a moment where somebody could have scooped it and scored it. Another Georgia player just swings their arm in it. I didn't think there was any chance we fall on that football, but Dalen Everett came up with it. It wasn't just those plays, the big momentum plays.
Yeah.
But I thought you saw him play in coverage really well. I thought you saw him hold up in coverage. Now, again, the pass rush helped with all of that. The lack of a running game on Texas's part helped in all of that. But I thought Dalen Everett played a fantastic game, and we needed it, quite frankly. We needed a corner to come on here and get in the stock up column, like had to have it, especially after that Mississippi State game, and particularly Six's play in times early in the season. So stock up to Dalen Everett. Shout out to him. Big performance.
The reason we didn't see Ellis Robinson play this game, Daniel, I thought that if we saw lesser competition, he would have been quick to. We didn't need him to because Everett was playing out his mind. We're going to come back after these and talk more stock up, stock down. But first, these. These are FanDuel. If you were like Daniel and I, you bet for the money line at Georgia because you knew we were going to win. You made yourself quite a little cash. Took that alternative line of the 13.5. You made yourself quite a little cash.
Significant to some. It was
600
significant.
juice over on there. NFL
How about
kickoff.
that LSU minus 2.5? I'm talking about a stone cold whale can't miss
Here we go.
moneymaker of the weekend.
Here we go. FanDuel's fantastic. The official sportsbook of Locked On Bulldogs, Locked On Podcast everywhere. We love them. This is the only place that Daniel and I go for sportsbook action. You need to go over there right now. When you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Stock up, stock down, Daniel. We continue talking about those who made themselves quite an impression on us. I want to talk a little bit about the rest of college football. And what I'm about to say is true. And so stock up for college football, just for the sport. I'll say this. I was wrong when I thought that the 12-team expansion was going to kill the sport.
Yeah,
I'm
you
an
were.
idiot.
Yeah, you are.
So dead wrong. I'm a moron.
Dead wrong. It's so fun.
I'm going to tell you a reality.
Okay. Yeah.
Indiana currently ranks ahead of the Crimson Tide.
Yep. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they're better. They're
unequivocally
a better football team.
They have the better coach.
Alabama fans would trade their coach for Indiana's coach today.
And if you wouldn't, you're not watching
India.
the games and you're a moron.
No.
Indiana is ahead. Also, Navy, Vanderbilt, Army, all in the top 25.
I love college football. I love everything. Let the record show Vanderbilt and Alabama have the same record, and Vandy owns the head-to-head. So I don't mean to tell you who the better team is, but you tell me. I'll list off a scenario. Team A and Team B have the same record, and Team B beat Team A head-to-head. You tell me who the better team is.
So what you're telling me, Daniel, is as of today, the likelihood of Vanderbilt being in the SEC championship as compared to Alabama is greater.
Greater.
Stock up for all of us.
You just stock up for humanity, really? You've paid your dues. It's been a fun ride. All right. I'm going to go, since we're going college football, how about this?
Yeah.
Stock up for Friday night football this whole freaking year, Clint. Like,
keep talking about. I'm going. So keep going.
The whole year, Clint, Friday night football has been absolutely fantastic. Capped off this weekend. Not only did Oregon go in there and wax.
Oh boy!
And Randy, it did not matter how many points you gave me in that game because 35-0. I was dead wrong about that. But if you stayed up late for the nightcap, then you saw the Storm and Mormons come down and score a last-second touchdown to win the game in Provo against the Fighting Mullets of Oklahoma State. The Big 12 is bananas.
It's insane.
And these Friday night games, Clint, don't miss, period.
I'm going to tell you a sneaky good game because it's not sneaky good to those who are watching. Boise State, UNLV. UNLV.
Is that Friday?
That is Friday night, Daniel.
We got another banger on Friday night. Boise, UNLV. That's a huge game.
It's a huge game. UNLV is a good squad. Remember that quarterback said, I've been leading the squad really well, and I'm not getting my deserve. And they said, okay.
And they said, bye, Felicia. We done here.
Louisville, BC. Louisville, Boston College plays 4:30.
Yep.
Then Boise State, UNLV 7:30, and then Rutgers, USC. Rutgers getting 13.5. Daniel, Rutgers is getting 13.5.
I'm not sure I can bet on Rutgers, and I know I can't bet on USC, so that's going to be a stay away for me. By the way, Clint's reading off Pacific time zone times on that. So everyone who's confused why there's a 4:30 Friday night game, like everyone's thinking to themselves, is it Thanksgiving this weekend? Yeah. Is it?
Oh my gosh. Let's not even. Okay, stock up. And you talked about the inside linebacker, the young guys there. Stock up. He got the targeting penalty, which was an absolute joke. And again, no one knows what targeting
We're
is.
going to go here. No one knows.
No one knows. So I want player
anybody
safety.
because the person you're asking doesn't know.
I want player safety to be part of our sport. I want ridiculous hits gone because I want player safety.
Yeah.
No one knows how to adjudicate that well in the college football right now.
And let me be clear before you talk about this guy because he deserves some time. Let me be clear. I want our players to stop dropping their heads when they come in to make a tackle. Like, just so
Don't make it questionable.
I don't necessarily think either of those targetings were the wrong call. That's not a popular Georgia fan opinion, but I think the refs violated the rules of the sport and should be fired
today
for what they did on that reversal.
9 seconds. You spotted the ball and time had ticked off the clock for 9 seconds off the play.
But
anyway.
I don't think either of those targets were the wrong call. Stop dropping your head when you come in to make a freaking tackle. Just hit him with your face mask.
That's it. Okay, that's it. But Janelle Guerrero, Daniel.
Yeah, he played well.
My. This was the week, midway through the season. Guys are on campus. Freshmen are playing, getting reps. Second-year guys are there. Yeah. Midway through the season, being coached up, and we're seeing the defensive trajectory. The tackling. You want to talk about stock up tackling? You tell me tackling was not on point this game because it was. It was fabulous all the way through. Daniel, Aguero absolutely showed me to be a dude that I can trust in the secondary to tackle, to make coverage. He came downhill and filled the alley on those screen plays insanely well. People didn't get outside or behind him. I think his stock finally starts ticking up when it's been down for a while for me, but now it's switched directions. It's going in the great direction.
Yeah. I'm gonna go stock up on Warren Brinson and Nas Stackhouse being side by side again. Like after Brinson coming back from injury. I think these two guys, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts with these two. Somehow, when they play together, the two of them are better than each of them individually added together. Like they work off each other well. I think they eat up blocks. They're physical. They get into the backfield. Nas Stackhouse is like a low-key dominant run stopper in the middle of this like defensive line. And if you don't think that's important, you haven't watched either of our national championship teams play football. And so he might be the most important player on the defensive front for the University of Georgia at this point. And Brinson is playing really well now that he's back from injury. I think his presence helps Stackhouse a lot to be a lot more free to engage in the run game and to stop the run game. But those two guys together, you mentioned tackling earlier, but the physicality on the defensive front, I thought was second to none in this game.
It was absolutely incredible. We have a lot of things going on for Georgia. We're going to be here all bye week because there's important things. We're going to have some recruiting news. We're going to see Kirby on the trail a little bit. We're going to see coaches out there. We're going to talk about other sports and other teams that are coming along as well because it's
basketball team.
We're
going to talk about the basketball team this week.
Clint, commit to the people that we will talk about the basketball team this week. We'll do a little season preview
this week. During bye, we will do a season preview of Georgia basketball. I commit. Asa is here. Y'all,
hey,
Asa's here.
Spread the word. Spread the word. We're talking about basketball on the show.
We are. He is Daniel. I'm Clint. Locked on Bulldogs every single day. Your podcast for Georgia. We'll see y'all later.
See ya.